What is up, everybody? Escape211 here, and today we are doing some more free-to-play Friday. Been a bit since I've done this, but that is because I'm kind of trying to do it like a once a month-ish. That's my goal, but today we're going to be focusing on an RPG slash like hack and slash type of game. Very Diablo or like, you know, similar to those type of games. This is Torchlight Infinite. Now, this actually is one that, you know, there's other Torchlight games, so probably some of you have heard of Torchlight before, but it's in the vein of all those other type of things. And I really like this one because I feel it is pretty free-to-play friendly. And I have been playing this one off and on for a while because they did have closed betas where they let you play it for like a month or two, and then they would wipe all progress and then do a couple other closed betas. But now it is in the open beta state where I believe you can get it on Steam, and you can also get it on Android and iOS. So you can get it right now if you like. But why I like it is because of how it handles a lot of the free-to-play elements for this. So we're going to jump into it here first of all right, so you can see what it's like. I really love the graphics on this. I mean, they're kind of cartoony. Maybe that's not everyone's flavor, but I do think it is very refreshing and bright and fun. Excuse me. And you'll see some of that like in how we do this game. All right, so first of all, I'm going to briefly show you the different type of classes here. So we're going to go back and actually I'll hit this button so we can see each of these. All right, so this dude who's yelling at us right now, this is our Berserker. This is your melee class, right? One where you can do a lot of the AoE type class stuff up close. If you hit next, you'll see more of those details and it'll play some music. You know, you get an idea of what he does. A lot of smashing, a lot of fun stuff. Pretty standard, easy class to get into. He has a rage mechanic, really cool. The next one is your Ranger class, who uses pistols instead of like a bow and arrow or something like that. And he has different like things that he does based on ammo. Neither of these classes I've really played too much. One I have been playing is Frostfire here. Now this is like your elemental mage, right? So she focuses on fire, frost, and depending on which direction you go, it will change like your DPS and how you handle enemies and that kind of stuff. And a lot of AoE stuff, a lot of cool like effects to the way she does things. So I've been playing her recently. The next one, this one is kind of interesting, especially by its name. This is Time Space Witness, which I don't really get the name exactly. I don't know, maybe someone can explain that. But this is kind of like an arcane mage, but also will create illusions and play with time and different kind of stuff, casting speeds, whatnot. Very interesting class, but I still kind of consider it like a mage class, just more like arcane magic, all right? So then we have more of the minion class. All right, this is Commander Moto. This is one I did play, and I found like he's really... This is probably the easiest class to play, in my opinion, just because you will just be able to... you can even see one of them right there, the little spider minion bot. You can create these, spam them, all that kind of stuff, all right? So I'm going to go back, though, and just play my main account here, just so we can get into like seeing how the combat is, because otherwise you see all the other intro stuff, and we're going to skip that for now. All right, so I mean, this is a pretty standard like feel for a lot of these style of games, right? I'm right now in the camp where you can do like trading, and you'll see other players and stuff hanging out here, like this dude with all this cool stuff on, and you can get other quests and different kind of stuff. Pretty standard stuff. I have a couple NPCs following me based on the quest that I'm doing right now, and then there's plenty of other things. You'll see my little mini map. You'll see my skills down here. I can attack with them. Use this totem thing. You know, there's just my basic different skills that I have, and we'll talk about skills in a minute, but pretty standard stuff, and they explain a lot of this as you go along. I'm not going to get into it. This isn't really like a whole beginner tutorial, but you know, just kind of briefly going over it, and I'm just going to go up into here because this is the main portal or teleport system that you use to get to where you need to go next for a certain quest. So we're going to go to this place, which is where I would need to go next for my quest stuff. Such cool cutscenes. All right, so if we start walking over this way, and we'll run into this guy here, and he's going to want to talk to us. I'm not going to talk to him. I will say, like, one thing that's cool is, since the closed beta, they've been adding voices to all the characters, which is nice. I don't love all of the voice acting, per se, but it's not bad. I've heard way worse voice acting, so it's pretty darn good, and very commendable for them to add all that. You can skip it. I'm going to skip it just for now, and then we'll start moving along here. And we should soon run into some enemies. I think I actually already killed some of them, so they're probably already gone. yeah, you can see some of my map is already shown up in the top corner. As you move through the map, you'll see that things start to appear. And I should start seeing some enemies very shortly here because, yeah. Oh, no, there's a couple guys here. All right. Oh, there's some enemies there, little tiny dudes. All right. Hasn't been much opposition yet, but there's going to be, oh, there we go. There's the bigger guy. Pretty quick to kill. Bigger guys over there. You'll see it generally is casual feeling, like at least in this early stage. I'm only level 8, right? It's pretty easy. There's that guy's a little harder, so we'll blink away from him, take him out, and then as you take out bigger targets, you'll see stuff like this. This is the loot dropping system, and oops, hang on, before I talk, let's kill whatever this is. There we go. Those guys shooting at me. You can either use the little hand that's above my blink skill, or you can tap up in the top corner on the ones that you want, like that blue one is probably pretty decent. And then, you know, let's actually go into my little pack here so you can see the loot that I have on. I don't have a whole lot of stuff on because it's still pretty early in the game. So, you know, if I get some of these things that would fill some of these slots, we'll fill some of that as well. But this kind of stuff isn't really going to help me, so we'll pass over it for now. All right. But yeah, I mean, you get the idea of how the basic system works. It's pretty standard. And that's really like what I appreciate. They keep the core stuff simple and pretty standard in experience to what you would get from these kind of like RPG hack and slash games, which is really nice. I also think the way they handle like casting of spells, they make it really easy to cast them and very little cooldown, plenty of mana a lot of times, and I think that changes as you get further on, but whoops, I hit the wrong button. But you'll see at some areas you start getting way more monsters, and that'll happen more as you get higher up in levels too. You'll see a lot more stuff. You'll also see that plus up in the top corner, which I haven't clicked on. That's for skill slots and everything like that. As you level up, you'll unlock skill slots, and then you'll level up skills as you use them. And I'll get into the skill tree in a minute. I just wanted to show some combat of different stuff, just so you get an idea. I'm just going to keep moving here and blinking forward a little bit. Okay. I was trying to see if I could get to like some kind of boss scene just so you could see what that was like, but I don't know if there is one on this level. Oh, just as I say it, all right. They just closed this off and we're on a little boss, and you'll see how that works. Kinda. He's shooting all this stuff at me, trying to drop on me. We're gonna move over here. Let me get right on him. He's not really... Okay, there we go. I was going to say he's not really attacking me yet. But all right, he's trying to drop on me. You can see this one is not really that hard. He's kind of like a mid-level boss. He's not a full end-game boss, but we leveled up from it, and then there's all this stuff that we can grab. So we'll grab some of those blue ones especially. You'll see that some of my skills leveled up. These ones down here, I can easily click on them, and it will just level up each of those skills. Now, obviously, I leveled up, so I have new talents. I have other skill slots. So let's talk about all that stuff, because this is the crazy part of this game. All right, like I said, when you first start, it's very easy to like just basically play through, ease you in. But when you start getting up there, like getting into the skills, the talent tree, all the different stuff you can do, hero traits, it is insane. The layers that this game has and the depth that you'll see in the skill tree. All right, that's what I love about this game. So I have like my basic skills set up here. I just went into my skill tree. These are the ones that you see on screen. And one thing you'll notice here with this one, my main one that I've been using, there's these little pluses around it. I actually left them open so I could talk about them, but usually you have little things in there as well, because some skills work as your main skills and then others are in these nodes as support skills, which will boost up your main skill. But what's really cool in this game is that there's tons of these. There's like 180-ish skills, so there's so much flexibility in how you can build your character, how you can add the nodes onto your character to really customize how you build your hero. It is super cool. The way they handle this skill system is super fun, and I haven't really felt like there's any need to buy any of it as I progress. Like I said, I've gotten up into 30s. I know other players who got in like the 60s and 80s into endgame and said endgame has some paid elements, but not anything that really stops you from like actually being competitive and playing the game, which is crazy good. All right, that's always a good thing to hear. So, you know, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, but I'm going to add on to these. First of all, multiple projectile makes a lot of sense, right? Instead of shooting one fireball, why don't we shoot more than one? Okay, so we'll add that. And then this other one that I have on here, fire explosion. So this will be a damage multiplier and add like an explosion to the fireballs when they hit, it seems like. All right, so now when I shoot, you'll see I'm shooting 3 fireballs instead of 1. Awesome. All right, very simple like showing of how that works. And area is tweaking right there. Okay. Very simple showing of how that works, but it gives you an idea of like how the skill tree can like attach these nodes and do all this cool crazy stuff. Super awesome. I love the way that works. And it gets even more involved. Whoops, I hit inventory. I meant to hit this. So you can see there's also these. This is the talent tree. All right, I have Goddess of Knowledge, but there's other talent trees that you can do. If I click on the top here, no, I can't do it. I was gonna say, I've already picked this talent tree. I don't know if there's a way to go back and look at the other talent trees, but there's multiple talent trees. Some of them focus on like mana or elemental damage, some on casting speed, some on like strength, dexterity, and like other passive effects or certain things that happen when you like hit enemies. All different kind of stuff that happen with this talent tree are really, really cool. Then on top of that, you also have your hero traits, where once you get to certain levels, I'm not there yet with this, you'll see other traits that you can pick at like level 10 and 20 and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool to then just like show the progression of your character and then build it specifically how you want based on how you are running your skills or how you want to run it for end game. Now, of course, there's a lot of flexibility in how you do it, but you do want to, you know, at some point get an idea of like what you plan to build for your character to kind of progress and get ahead with all that. But I mean, this game, like I said, especially for like the single player aspect of it and the storyline and the quests are really easy to just like ease yourself into and feel comfortable with. All right, so let's just go in this teleporter so that we can go to the next section. Probably not going to play this next section because it's you guys already get the idea, but this is actually going to the next area where we fight. It's trying to progress me into the rest of the campaign. So I'm actually going to go up to this teleporter. So once you get to a new area, you can get on these teleporters and go to wherever you want. All right, I'm going to go see. Yeah, see, it shows we were here in this one, and now we're going to. We would be going to that, but we're going to go back to the hideout and talk a little bit more about all of this. So, like the idea of how this works for going to each area, really smooth. How it helps you to move on to your quest by like tapping these buttons. Really easy to do. The progression system is really simple, but the talent tree is where they add a lot of depth for like your development, customization, and everything. So I love the way they handled that. But like I said, what's really good about all this is as you're progressing and doing all this stuff, there aren't really paywall blocks that are going to stop you from playing through the main content of the game. You'll be able to progress a hero, put hours into this game, just playing the storyline without feeling like you have to pay money, which is incredible. All right. Now, I'm saying all this knowing that I've played the closed beta. I've played some of the open beta. I have no idea what's going to happen when this, you know, goes into either soft launch or global launch, because that may change things. All right. That always happens or could happen for games. But this is also a game that's made by XD, which is the same people or the same overarching company who made T3 Arena, which also has been very free-to-play friendly. So I have a lot of faith that this will also be free-to-play friendly. Even though it's a different development team, it's the same overhead company. So that gives me a good reason to put, you know, some decent trust in them. It's not like it's, you know, Diablo, where a lot of people have been complaining about the paid elements in that one. But speaking of paid elements, there are some when you get to endgame, all right? There are cosmetic elements. I don't know if I can actually see them easily in here. Okay, so this is one paid element, but this is the season pass, right? But it's not one that's forced on you at all. There's the top layer that's free, and you'll see that I have some of that cleared off. And this bottom layer, these are all the paid elements. Some of them help you progress faster, but a lot of them are also just cosmetic items. Like this is a cosmetic item. I don't know if I can actually click on it to show it. Probably can't until I actually am there. No, okay. There's different things that you can put on your character to make them look cool. Like this guy has all these, you know, things floating on the back. They have all this shiny stuff. All of these, as well as pets, all of that is related to like paid elements. A lot of it, like I said, is cosmetic, but some of the pets will give you some extra boosts, extra things, which are nice to do. But from what I have seen and what I have heard, none of that feels like it is necessary for progression. It is nice to have. Maybe it will help in like overarching leaderboards if it gets to that point, but I don't feel like any of that has felt like entirely necessary in all of my playthrough and what I've heard a lot of other people say. To say that there's no pay elements is untrue. There are when it comes toward being free to play friendly. This definitely hits the mark, and that's why I picked it for this one for this month. So, you know, I don't know if this is your style of game or what you guys are into, but I thought this was a really interesting one that I wanted to bring to light and just show everybody a little bit about it. So you guys can let me know what you think, if it's something that you are interested in, if you played other games like this, or if you've played it versus like Diablo or some other ones, or maybe even the old Torchlight games. If you played those, you guys can let me know your experience, maybe comparing between the two. But yeah, that is this one for this Free to Play Friday, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you out there on the battlefield.